you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. So we have split 16 books down to 8, and one of these lucky titles will be crowned today the champion of First, I thought I'd just quickly tell you about all the books that did not make it through. From Group A, it was Norway's with Tiamat by Hannah Ostervik, translated from Norwegian by Martin Aitken, and The Night Guest by Hilda Knutstadter, translated from Icelandic by Mary Robinet Kowal. These were both actually decent books. I did enjoy them. Specifically this one, the start and the middle were really good, but the ending brought it down a lot. Yeah, Group A was definitely a quite contested group. I did enjoy all books in all honesty, but yeah, sorry, you will not be progressing. From Group B, we had the Italian entry The Dry Heart by Natalia Ginsberg, translated from Italian by Francis Friana, and the Portuguese entry Death at Intervals by Jose Saramago, translated from Portuguese Margaret Joel Costa. Okay, all right, you know, but not progressing, sorry. Then Group C, we not progressing is the Danish entry The Employees, A Workplace of the 22nd Century by Olga Rav, translated from Danish by Martin Aitken, and the German entry Cassandra by Christa Wolf, translated from German by Jack Van Herrick. Very disliked. Story good, execution very poor. A bit too sci-fi and lost me as the book went along, but not progressing, sorry. And then finally from Group D, the aforementioned Group of Death in the actual Women's Euros 2025, but a group of just one book breezing past the rest, but the two that did not make it through is the entry from the Netherlands with We Had to Remove This Post by Hannah Breveritz, translated from Dutch by Emma Rout, and the French entry Not One Day by Anna Garetta, translated by Emma Ramadan and the author Anna Garetta. Extremely poor, very poor performances, but the four we have going forward, I'm going to split up into their matches in my little competition sheet, and we shall start it off with the quarterfinals. So the first quarterfinal match was between Group A's winner, Switzerland with My Favourite by Sarah Joly-Anne Fadal, translated from French by Holly James, against Group B's runner-up from Spain, A Luminous Republic by Andres Barbara, and this is translated from Spanish by Lisa Dillman. This is quite a contested match because I did actually really enjoy both of these books. Also, I love the colour palette, it's looking really nice. But with like how I did the other games, the books are all going to score goals based on plot, characters, writing, enjoyment and impact. Did I do the finger there? I don't know. And also maybe an adjustment penalty here or there. But Switzerland got goals for characters, writing and impact, and Spain for plot and enjoyment. So that is a 3-2 win to Switzerland, and you are going through to the semi-finals. But we are sadly saying adios to the Spanish entry. Next we had Group B's winner, I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, translated from French by Ros Schwartz. This is the Belgian entry against the Finnish entry, which is The Union of Synchronized Swimmers by Krista Sandu, and this is translated from Finnish by the author Krista Sandu. And this was not very contested. I do think the Finnish entry was decent, a good book, I would recommend it, but this is a shoe-in, all 5 goals scored by the Belgian entry. So you are going through to the quarterfinals. Congratulations, and we are saying goodbye to Finland. sorry. Quarterfinal 3 is the Swedish entry, The Details by Aya Genberg, translated from Swedish by Kira Josephson, and Group D's runner-up, Martha Jack and Shanko by Carol Lewis, translated from Welsh or Cymraeg by Gwen Davies, and this is the Welsh entry. This only made it through because of how terrible the French and Dutch ones were, to be honest. It wouldn't have really got through if it was in other groups, but this is a clear 5-0 to Sweden, so you are progressing to the semi-finals. Very, very strong entry there, and we will be saying goodbye, or hwyl, to Wales. I'm sorry I dislike this book so much, but it has merits. Watch the video. And then the final quarterfinal is the English entry with Assembly by Natasha Brown, from the winner of Group D, versus the runner-up of Group C. The Polish entry, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk, and this is translated from Polish by Antonia Lloyd-Jones. This one was somewhat mixed in a sense, is that off the back I do think this one does give away a penalty in all the games, just because I think there is an element of hypocrisy in some of the characters' actions and, like, you know, doings, but just watch the video to, I guess, find out, because I'm not really saying the plot and things about this. By the video I mean their individual group stage matches. So that is already a 1-0 deficit, but although I did really enjoy this book, and I do give it a higher rating over this overall, I think for the individual elements, Poland does win out on the plot, the characters, the writing and enjoyment. However, I've decided to give them both a goal for impact, because I do think they both have a strong, like, not necessarily moral element, but just they're trying to engage the reader in conversations. This all about like animal rights and sort of like hunting laws and sort of like going the pack and stuff, things like that, and also like the treatment of like elderly, or like the unseen in a sense. And Assembly does a great job of showing the ingrained racism and classism within sort of like British society, and how we can try and challenge that society when it's just so ingrained, and sort of like how to continue, you know, what to do in a sense. And it asks a lot of questions to the reader on like what we can do, but also what the character can do. So I do think they both have a really strong impact element, but this does end 5-2 to Poland, and we are saying goodbye to England, the winner of the actual Euros, which is sad, and I would have supporting you, but this is a great book. Definitely give this book a read. Poland is going through to the semi-finals, which we shall go to now. Semi-final 1, and it is between Sweden and Switzerland, and this one, it's not really contested per se in the way the match went along, but I do feel, although Sweden got the whole 5 goals, I'm just telling you off the bat, it is a 5-0 victory to Sweden. I think Switzerland definitely put up such a fight for each of these goals. It's just they did fall just a tiny bit short, but overall I think it is an incredible book, and I would definitely check out the author again. And just like on the whole, I think Switzerland just did very well at the Euros, and just represented their country amazingly. They hosted the competition. I think they had amazing growing fan base and setting records, and just it was just a very well organized and put on competition from the hosts, and their performance in my own bookish Euros was very commendable. Sadly, we are saying goodbye to Switzerland, but you put up a fight. However, the Swedish entry, I do think, did a bit better in all these 5 categories, but only by a very slight margin. Like, honestly, if this was not going through not penalties, but like goals for these categories, I think it would have been maybe about a 3-2 win. But it does edge it on each of these. So yeah, congratulations Sweden, you are going to the grand final. So semi-final 2 is between Belgium and Poland. This is a very, very, very tight match. I think for star rating I gave them both 4.25 stars. I'm not 100%, but they are both great books and try and do very good things, I guess, within them. But for the way the goals are split is that Belgium got goals for writing and impact, and then the penalty that Poland did give away. However, Poland got goals for plot, characters and enjoyment. So it does end a 3-3. If I look at the book as a whole and sort of like what I maybe enjoyed a bit more within both of them, I do think we are going to give it a win to Poland. So congratulations, you are the second finalist, and we are saying goodbye to Belgium. But in a great book, so recommend. I would definitely be checking out Jacqueline Hartman again. So this isn't a thing at the Euros, it isn't a World Cup, but there is no third place match or, you know, medal for the third placed team, but I've swatched that around, and I'm going to give a reward to the third place book. And Switzerland got goals for plot, enjoyment and impact, and Belgium for characters and writing. So it is a 3-1 victory to Switzerland, and yeah, congratulations. But like I said, both great books. Before we get on to the grand final, I thought I'd just quickly do the reverse and see which book would win the worst book of the competition. There are a few contenders, but we are doing it in the same format that the books were split around for the quarterfinal. The proper one. But the first match is between Norway and Portugal wins this, but still it has merits, it's just not that good. Then it is Iceland and Italy, and sad to say Iceland does win this, even though, like I keep saying, great middle and start, poor ending. Next is Denmark and France. Easy win for France. Very poor book. And then finally is Netherlands and Germany. A little bit of a hard one because they were both bad. Story wise decent, execution bad. Unfinished. It's unfinished. But Netherlands does win this, and Germany, you are safe. Then we have the semi-finals, and Portugal and France. Easy win for France, very poor. And then it is Iceland and Netherlands. Easy win for Netherlands, very poor. And we're back to the Group D matchup of both of these books, and a little bit contested, but I mean, I guess you can say so, but France does win this. Very much so the worst book of the competition. It's a prize nonetheless, but yep, don't read this. Don't read it, it's so bad. Now it is the grand final between Sweden and Poland. Both great books, both Group C books, if you have been following. So you'll probably know how it ends, but we shall go through the goals nonetheless. As before, Poland does give away a penalty, so you're 1-0 up Sweden. And Poland does also get goals for impact. I do think it has a good impact. And the plot, I would say, overall, because this is it's not short story, it's definitely not. but there's scenes within someone's life and with these people that she knows, and it's just not maybe as consistently plotted as a proper plotted book in a sense. But Sweden, you do get the rest of the goals for characters, writing, enjoyment, and also one for impact. So the grand final does end 5-2 to Sweden. Huge congratulations, the winner of the inaugural Bookish Euros for 2025. Will I do it in 4 years time? Maybe. I'm also thinking of doing the World Cup again, because I did do the Bookish World Cup 2 years ago, I think, when that comes around in 2027. But yeah, congratulations, both very, very good. I do think this definitely worth reading. I will definitely check out bookish again. Lot to say, throws up lots of questions, good like character study, and sort of just like champion the voiceless in a sense. That is what the main character tries to do in this book, and I do think it's done very, very well. So huge congratulations, Poland. But the Swedish Entry, I really, really love this book. It's very slim, it has a lot to say. It's just about like the people around us and how they make us who we are. It's a book that follows a woman, and like she in the present day, she sort of has like a fever or something. Maybe I wanted a little bit more of that, because this isn't a full 5-star. I think it's 4.5. But she thinks back to these like relationships and friendships and stuff with people throughout her life that she's like known, and you get a glimpse into their lives and the little details of things, as the book says, and how they build up to make a bigger picture. And I just really, really enjoyed this book. So yeah, definitely will check out the author again. Once again, another congratulations. Thank you for watching and following on through the competition. Make sure to watch our videos if you haven't already seen them. And I shall be seeing you very, very soon. Have a nice morning, even out every hour in the world. Bye.